Key to see here.
Today we're going to be talking about building versus remodeling, and we'll get out in the field and talk to a couple different local contractors.
That's right. I've had experience of doing both, building and remodeling. In fact, we're in the middle of a remodel project right now. So I'd love to give some insight and ask all the right questions.
So if you're trying to decide if a custom new construction is the way to go or buy a home and remodel and make it your own, we hope this video will help you, and that's what we're here for.
Let's go get some information from a local contractor.
As we mentioned at the office, we wanted to go out in the field and meet with some local builders. And today we have found a very local builder, longtime resident of Gig Harbor, Mike Paul of Mike Paul Construction. Mike, why don't you introduce yourself?
Again, Mike Paul Construction. Been born and raised in Gig Harbor. Been building in Gig Harbor for 35 years.
Yeah.
So started out as a spec custom builder and then have turned into just a custom builder since 2008.
So let's start with the question that we hear the most. What does it actually cost to build a home yourself? And oftentimes it's, what is the cost per square foot, price per square foot to build? So what do you think of that question?
Well, it's kind of an empty question you can't answer.
Okay.
In truth, it dictates by square footage, it dictates by design, and it dictates by land.
Yeah.
So land can be a major driver in cost, can swing a cost up to 30% on a total project. We don't have flat, wonderful land left in vacant land. So the cost, it's impossible for me to give someone a cost like that.
Off the cuff, you can't.
Off the cuff. If you're talking starter families, people that want to come in and build their first house, 3,000 square feet or whatever,
yeah,
you're probably looking about $400 a square foot to build, no land cost.
No land cost.
No land cost. If you're talking about your next generation of owners, second generation, maybe as kids or empty nesters, I'm usually telling my clients between $500 and $700 a foot. No land, no landscaping.
And that landscaping will cost you.
The landscaping is probably my biggest one that my clients have the biggest scarce of, because I have clients now that are spending between $300 and $700 to put their landscaping.
Yeah.
And that's a requirement, right? You have to.
It is a requirement. Yes, it is a requirement.
You cannot get final without covering all of the native soil.
It's called an amended soil, part of the code, which is bringing in 8 inches of topsoil and rototilling it in 11 inches deep, and then they probe test it as part of your final inspection. Yes.
And who is it doing the final inspection again? Is it the city? Is it the county?
No, this is only referring to Pierce County. City of Gig Harbor does not go under the same rules and regulations as Pierce County.
Okay, so they're separate.
They are separate.
Depending on where that land is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Gig Harbor actually, as much as people don't believe it, is less expensive when it comes to that sort of stuff. They don't have nearly the regulations that the county does.
Oh, interesting. I thought otherwise.
No.
Okay.
All right, another common question that we get is about permitting. We have heard for years that it has been a disaster getting your permits. It takes so long, it costs so much money. I personally had some very horrific experiences with that. What do we know about today? We know we're dealing with the City of Gig Harbor and then also Pierce County. Talk to us a little bit about what you're working with today.
So the market drives everything, and the market has been very slow. So we went from I just got this permit about 6 months ago, and this permit took almost 2 years for this house.
Okay.
2 years.
Wow.
Currently under Pierce County, under their dashboard, you're less than a month.
Wow.
City of Gig Harbor is really running about the same right now. That is not necessarily that they fixed anything, it's necessarily that building has stopped. Your regional, national guys have all stopped spec construction because nothing is really selling. They're not moving a lot of product, so there's not a lot of push into the county. The regulations have continued to increase year over year, which makes it extraordinarily expensive on the client to get a permit.
So I was going to ask, so the time frame to get them has gone down, not the cost to get them.
Not the cost and not the overview. The overview is amazing. And there'll be 7 to 9 departments within Pierce County that we'll be reviewing, and they do not talk. And now within the review of Pierce County, that if one comment is made by the county, you can't reply to that comment till all comments are done throughout the county and then refer to them all at once. And none of them are even talking back and forth. So it's a conflict getting back together. But you are getting reviewed much quicker now, at least.
I got it. All the more reason why having an expert on your team is, I don't want to say mandatory, but pretty much mandatory.
Yes, I will
Builders
not.
know the people in the divisions. They know who to talk to. They know which process to go through first, second, third.
Yeah.
It's just evident that working with a professional is good
Yeah,
with the
35 years, used to permit all my stuff.
Yeah.
I am incapable of getting a
Right.
permit now.
Yeah.
You have to have someone that's in line that knows it, yes.
Yep.
Like it's permit granted.
Permit granted is a really, really great example. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them out here, but permit Terry is phenomenal. She does a great job.
Yeah. So we have a lot of people that move down from the Seattle East Side area up from California, and they want to come to Gig Harbor for Waterfront, and they want to build that custom dream home. What do you find to be the biggest complications or differences between building on waterfront and non-waterfront land?
Again, we're going to go back to the regulations.
Yeah.
Waterfront is now mandatory shoreline within the first 200 feet. So anything that you're doing in the first 200 feet is under shoreline regs. So you're 33.3% impervious. Then you've got to show your setbacks, which are 75 feet on the water.
Hold on a second. We're going to do a decoding.
Yes. Impervious.
30% impervious. Let's just unplug that for them really quick. Impervious surfaces. What are we talking about?
33.3% of your property is max of the amount of area can be house, driveway, patio, sidewalks. 33.3% of the property max. No exceptions.
No more.
No exceptions.
Crazy.
Impervious meaning the water can't get through it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
For the layman.
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty restricted.
It is
Yeah.
harder. Yes.
Yeah.
It can be. With a 75-foot setback, it definitely helps you because none of that is generally buildable
Okay.
from the water.
Okay.
But it is hard. It can be hard, and especially the smaller the lots are, and that's what they are, the less footage you can get in a house. And investing $1 million to $2 million to $3 million, it's hard to tell someone they can build 1,100 square feet.
Sure.
What do you find with properties that are existing and then you call it a remodel or you tear it down? Is there grandfathering
No.
in? No.
No.
That's all.
You get the footprint, but you still have the impervious area.
Yeah.
So you would have to take out a portion of the driveway, create pervious areas of that. The good part of an existing structure is you're non-conforming. So if the house is built too close to the water, you own that airspace. So you can build closer than 75. You can build closer to a side yard setback. Within that envelope high, you own the air and the space of that.
Okay.
So there is some good part of that. Yes. A raw land, a raw piece is very difficult on the water to get the building permit. Same thing, that's what this was, and this was a challenge.
A challenge.
Yes.
Okay, another question that we get asked a lot is, talk to me about start date to finish date.
When am I moving in?
When do I get to move in and unpack the bags? We know we've both built homes. We know, I believe it's a varying date, but I would love to hear your opinion. You talked about the difference between kind of that starter home and then that finishing home. What are we looking at as far as like start date to end date?
When I meet with my clients, I generally give them a 12-month. I say 12-month no matter which it is.
Okay.
When you are talking about next generation, generally the design becomes a lot more complicated, a lot more hidden blinds, a lot more things of order, specialty windows, stuff like that. That elongates the time. A lead time on a standard ultra window or a fiberglass window, something like that, 6 weeks. Standard lead time for an aluminum window or something that's a little more unique and modern, those run 12, 16, 17, 18 weeks. So therefore it starts to take more time. Cabinet leads because of the specialty stuff. So a really, really nice house, 2 years is not unusual.
Okay.
A starter house, not to say that they're not all really nice, but a starter house, it can get actually reduced. You could get down to 8 months, 9 months, something like that. If things are more selective, more like a spec house sort of build, if it's really organized, put together, it can be put together pretty quickly.
And that's once every plan is done, every permit's in hand.
After permits are in
Let's
hand.
go.
Breaking ground to moving in.
To move in date.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's helpful. I think it is important for people to remember that because people ask us a lot, what's the cost for a kitchen? It can be $50,000 and it can be $550,000. It depends on what it is that you're shopping for. So again, I don't want to keep saying this, but talking to somebody who knows the differences is going to alleviate a lot of those questions right out of the gate.
And Mike's great at keeping anybody in check on budget.
Yeah.
Meaning
Yeah.
myself.
Even Whitney, talk to me about walkthroughs. We have dealt with clients that we're helping them go through the custom build process. Do you think that it's best for clients to set up preemptive walkthroughs, show up anytime they want, make meetings with you? What do you think about the involvement on that side of things?
We require walkthroughs with us. Ours is a pre-plumbing walk, ours is a window walk, ours is an electrical walk, ours is a finish walk, ours is a cabinet walk. We do require that. I will say the market has changed a lot where there's more of a one time a week Zoom call setup times, some sort of in-person meetings on a weekly basis, having that face-to-face so that you're communicating. We're also using an interactive app called Build Trend now, where our clients will know what the schedule is all the way from start to finish, who's coming, the days they're coming, all the photos from the job get uploaded into Build Trends, helps them to kind of engage in it. It works really, really nice. It is
If you have a client that's out of state.
100%. Our clients out of state love it.
Yeah.
They are able to see everything that's happening on a daily basis. It's really nice. And know, hey, the electrician's coming today and he's going to wrap up on Thursday, and then the window, all that sort of stuff.
Everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
So we know that there's not a ton of vacant land here in Gig Harbor. It's a bit of a scarcity, but sometimes you can get a piece of property that has the utilities already on the lot or a septic. Can you talk to us a little bit about how that really equates to value, or how far? Timing, how does that help?
Yeah, well, anything that has infrastructure in place, even at a approved design, is an immense lead time. Health department has changed. They're not as quite helpful. That you have to have an approved septic, an approved drilled well with water test to be able to even apply for a building permit now.
Okay.
So those infrastructures can be 6 month savings, 9 month savings, and tens of thousands of dollars, plus just budget driven numbers, because you don't know what the septic design is when it's not designed on the site. You could have a $7,000 gravity system, you could have a $50,000 treatment system in your house.
Yeah.
Based on soils, and nobody knows. I mean, nobody knows what you're going to do when you get in there.
So there is value to finding.
There's a ton of value to
Developed.
that. Yeah, no question. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so Mike, you do new construction ground up. You also do a lot of renovation and remodel.
Mostly renovation.
Mostly renovation or remodel. And have you seen that change over the last few years, or has that always been the case? Or is it, what do you notice?
It's been way more renovations.
Okay.
Yeah, the renovations, well, because the lots, we used to have, 20 years ago, when we all got into this trade, we used to have the ability to go pick a lot anywhere.
Yeah.
Down on Rosedale, there's a lot, down wherever. You'd pick a lot, flat, in a neighborhood or whatever, and build.
Yeah.
They do not exist anymore. What's left in our area is really hard lots. We've left the hard lots as builders. We didn't want to do them.
Sure.
Now that's what people are getting, and so they're choosing to build on those, and which makes it extraordinarily expensive.
Okay.
And it's harder.
Yeah.
If you have kids and you want a swing set, well, you're not getting it when the slope's 30%.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of value in finding a home and renovating it to suit your needs. Is that also a cost savings?
Actually, yes. And a lot of our clients now, we're even recommending even a remodel to tear it down to the subfloor and then rebuild within there. That is a significant concept savings, because you have the infrastructure. You got your utilities, you got driveway, you got septic, you've got everything you have there. Impact fees, permit fees, all reduced because of the remodel. Potentially landscaping, yeah. But we do, like if I meet with a remodel on a really gut job house, and let's say it's a $500,000 gut job,
Yeah.
for me to peel it down to the lower, just to the subfloor and then rebuild, it usually adds about only 15 or 20%. Not that much. So you can get a lot just for doing that. And then you benefit a ton because the infrastructure is in place.
Wonderful. So one thing you have to face is if you're doing a new construction, you're obviously living somewhere else. Do you find that many people are able to live in the home while remodeling? I know kitchens make it tough, but what do you find to be what keeps people sane?
Yeah, so everybody wants to live in their house during a remodel. Everybody. We will tell them exactly what they'll experience. We're going to be in having breakfast with them at 7 a.m. every morning. We're gonna be dirty.
Yeah.
We're going to be loud, and we will take away all of your privacy, everything. You're open book. It is really hard. I have had clients that have taken a house and cut it clean in half, and expanded the house 16 feet out, and stayed in the house. One with a 95-year-old mom.
Okay.
And they stayed in the house. Had a bear come into the house while we were doing the remodel. No exaggeration.
Okay.
So if you've got it,
Yeah.
you can do it. I would never recommend
Does it
It's
slow you
horrible.
down?
No, not really. It isn't, but it's just harder for them.
Sure.
Because you just have no privacy. You don't have a moment by yourself. You can't breathe. You can't
versus getting maybe a month-to-month Airbnb.
A month-to-month Airbnb is definitely a good choice. Yeah, I mean, we can knock out a kitchen if we are organized correctly. We order our cabinets ahead of time. We start the remodel 2 weeks before the cabinets show up. I can turn over a kitchen in 6 to 8 weeks. Done. And that includes new floors throughout the main floor, everything, new painting, new cabinets, new countertops, everything. Redo a fireplace or whatever. We can knock them out pretty quick as long as we're organized with the client.
All right, Mike, last question. Whitney, you too.
Okay.
What is your biggest piece of advice for anyone out there that is considering either a build or a remodel? I personally think it's about personality. We always joke that you're going to be involved with this person a lot. I think that meeting and interviewing and making sure that you vibe with this person is probably my biggest piece of advice for building and remodeling. Whit, what do you think?
Completely agree. We met with Mike and a few other parties, wonderful, wonderful builders. It was absolutely Mike that Eric and I meshed with and gelled with, and it was so good because it was a win-win. And the other thing that I would say that I really valued with Mike is that everything was really like aggressively cut and dry, like this is what we're gonna spend, and we stayed on it. Anything that happened aside from that was my own doing with change orders, but I really appreciated direct, honest communication and personality. Totally. It's a vibe thing. It is. It's important to get along well.
Mike, close us out. What's the biggest piece of advice?
Yeah, it's about people you surround yourself with. It's the first person that you're meeting that's guiding you to that. It's the agent or who has your back in the beginning. Secondarily, when you come to the builder, it's making sure that you can talk to them and feel like you don't have to hold anything back.
Yeah.
If you can't tell them you have heartburn in the morning, you are not working with the right person. You are not. If you are choosing a person for any reason, because my brother's sister's cousin recommended them, and you can't tell them that you have a birthday today, it's bad. It doesn't work. You've got to be able to be honest. You've got to tell them your deepest desires, your scariest moments. You have to share them with them like we did. You have to be able to talk. If you can't, you will not be happy.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Thank you so much for your time and expertise. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you. If you have more questions about building or remodeling a Gig Harbor, please drop some comments. Also follow, subscribe, like, all the things. We appreciate you guys.
And check out Mike Paul Construction too.
We're out.